I probably talked about it before in other instances, or I at least touched on it, but I want to go kind of into detail about what I mean when I say I hate like the word influencer. Or I hate people wanting to be quote unquote influencers. Because, when you say influencer, when you say I want to be an influencer, what I hear is, the literal word, right? Influencer. You want to influence, you want to have influence over people. You want people to value your word. You want to be, you want to have some control over a space, right? And I feel like it's really kind of I imagine it's selfish because I imagine when people hear the word influencer, when they say they want to be influencers, what I'm picturing in my head is people thinking they can just make videos about anything, whatever they want, and they make money by basically doing nothing they don't want to do, like barely ever. They barely ever have to do anything they don't want to do, and they'll get money. And they also want their word to be valued on top of that, which is part of why they get the money, assumingly, right? And it always bothered me because saying you want to be an influencer, it's I feel like it's inherently passionless. Like you can't. I don't think you can do anything with passion. You're wanting to. How do I put this? You're wanting like the easiest thing ever. You're wanting one of the easiest things ever, and you want it for its ease. You don't want it because you have a real passion for orating or anything like that or making speeches. No, you just want to be valued and you want to make money off it. Like back in high school, teachers would ask us what we wanted to be, and a few other kids would say they want to be influencers. And I feel like I said already, it's just selfish and stupid and things like that. But I feel like if you really want influence, you should want it for a good reason. You should want to change things for a purpose, right? You shouldn't just want an easy job, is what I'm saying. Like that shouldn't be your goal with gaining influence. And even then, you shouldn't just aim to be an influencer. Like, you shouldn't just aim influence alone. I feel like if you really want to be worth talking to, you gotta, like, demonstrate that you're knowledgeable in some area. I feel like you have to have passion in order to be a worthwhile quote unquote influencer. Because I do hate that word. I just prefer, like, e-celeb or whatever, right? But, like, let's say, I don't want to call someone an influencer. I want to call someone by what they do, pretty much. And then like after that, assign the value of it. Like maybe I'd say, okay, that guy's a well-respected movie reviewer or something like that. Maybe that guy's a well-respected animator or video editor. I can assign what he does, and I can put that in there. Okay, and that's like how you get some idea of where a guy's expertise lies. Assuming you're talking good about him. And yeah, I feel like that's the way. Because if you if society has influencers, right? If they base the people influencing the masses and the main source of influence is coming from people with no passion who just want to do the easy thing and don't have a real passion to do anything with any sort of difficulty or thought put into it, that's going to spread. That mindset is going to spread, and you're going to create more people with no real desire to put any passion into anything, no real people with any deep thoughts put into anything. And that's part of why it gets me angry because it's like I know they don't think of this when they say so, but when someone just says they want to be an influencer and they don't have any idea of what they want to add on to that, what they want to do to make themselves worth influencing, they're basically saying they just want to be a drain on society in more ways than one. They want to dumb people down. They want to get money for doing like no real work, pretty much. And, it's something I think a lot because influence really is important. Like I've said before, I think I've said so before at least. But of course, influence is important for spreading ideas and things like that. So, like maybe someone like me, maybe I'd say I would like to have some influence. I wouldn't call myself an influencer, but I'd like to be, I feel like a lot of us would like to be a big voice in our areas, to promote our ideas because we believe our ideas will make things better. It's not because, oh well, I just wanna lay back and eat popcorn all day and do like a 100, I don't know, whatever challenge and do something stupid for a bajillion dollars. And I get to sit back and do that all day and make money. No, that shouldn't be at least like the primary goal. Like, of course, you can appreciate your position, right? Of course, you can become someone of great influence and be like, well, I am fortunate, I'm fortunate I have this job because not a lot of people get to have it this easy. And I think that's respectable when you realize that your job is easy, because some of these streamers are like, oh, you don't know how hard it is. You don't know how hard it is playing video games for several hours a day, guys. This is tougher than your job where you have to deal with rowdy people yelling at you and cursing at you, things like that. You got to appreciate, you have to acknowledge your position in order to be worth listening to, because that like displays wisdom, right? I feel like you got to display some sort of wisdom in order to be an influencer. Like for general life things, you got to show some wisdom. But if you just want to influence a certain sphere, like video games or whatever, you just got to know what you're talking about there, like objectively, right? You got to know what makes a good game, what makes a bad game. But yeah, so that's another thing, because well, it's not another thing. It's just to add on to what I said before about the influencers, where they don't really have a passion, so whenever they do anything, it wouldn't even be of substance. So they'd just be wasting their time on top of that when they could be actually learning something. And maybe they would get influence as a byproduct and earn it if they actually thought about something they'd be good at, something worth watching. And yeah, that's about it. That's about all my words on why I hate the word influencer, why I don't really like people who try to be quote unquote an influencer with no real plan behind it, right? With no real purpose, no real passion, anything like that. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. Goodbye.